Hello and welcome back to a new video. Yeah, today is a good day. I've got here some nice stuff, which is also borrowed by my best vape buddy who is living right around the corner, just a few kilometers away. And he is a guy who gives himself a lot of presents for Christmas, or his wife gives him a lot of presents. And so I've got a lot of stuff to review because he's nice enough to just give it to me for checking it out and doing this video. So pretty cool. And today we've got the pretty new RTA from SightPic, and it's the Picatiny MTL RTA. SightPic is a new brand which is on the other side an old brand because we know it by the name Holy Atty, and I also did some reviews for the Holy Atty Patibulum and the Holy Atty. Yeah, okay. Now I got it. I just checked it out and now I forgot it. The mea culpa, sorry. The mea culpa. The Patibulum, Holy Atty itself from Korea. Is a brand which does really high-end stuff, excellent quality, very nice machining. Price-wise, yes, on the upper side. And the Patibulum, the design is always kind of different to other RTAs, which is really interesting. Patibulum was really interesting. Mea culpa was for me a puzzle, a lot of parts. I did not get into this really much. Now we've got the Picatiny, which is design-wise kind of similar to Flashy Vapor, Kuma, Bishop. So we've got two airflow sides. Airflow coming from the side. We've got feeding from the top. No wicks like the Flashy Vapor. It's all included. Very nice machining, Pyrex glass. We've got a price which is around about the 200 euro bench. We've got 316 stainless steel peak insulators. Yeah, Pyrex glass tube. I already mentioned this. It's a 22 millimeter RTA, which is pretty short. It is 32 millimeters without drip tip and without 510, with a capacity of 3 milliliters. Yeah, which is quite a lot for the height. Airflow options. Is also interesting and also pretty good. What is included, we've got one blind pin if you want to block one side, and then we have 2.8 pins, two 1.0 pins, and two 1.4 pins. I will come later to the point what kind of pin I am personally missing, but for that later. The packaging, you have to be careful because it's really tight. Make it a little bit better than I did it, because you will destroy the carton just a little bit. And then it comes in this tiny box here, presenting, yeah, quite okay, quite good. And we've got the RTA itself. We've got a spare Pyrex glass tube, we've got a drip tip, we've got spare parts, many O-rings, one deck screw. It's not a post screw, it's a deck screw, and we have a drip tip, stainless steel drip tip, and we've got all the different pins. I will just put them out right away. Okay, so these are the important things, and I will zoom in a little bit more. Optic-wise, yes, very good, nice looking RTA, very high-endish quality. There's just a little bit of humidity inside. Here we've got a serial number, Picatiny MTL, the logo of SightPic. No adjustable 510, but this protrudes quite a lot. Airflow pins just pushed and held by O-rings. yeah, pretty good. The drip tip itself, stainless steel, not too long, not too short. It's about okay for MTL. It just gets a little bit warm, so I'm gonna use a different palm drip tip, which I just like a little bit more. Machining threadings, yeah, excellent. O-ring quality, really excellent. It's a bottom fill, so this is a little bit, as I mentioned, Flashy Vapor, Kuma, Bishop, yeah, a lot. The holes for your bottle here to fill, excellent, really excellent. Is very good. You can fill to actually to the not completely to the top, not really to the threads, but about this area where you have this nut here. The feeding itself does work automatically. I will show you with the other parts. You can, I think you can also, I did not open up this and I have to check how tight it is. Yeah, this is pretty tight. Oh yes, this is, yeah, okay, now. This was just very tight. And now you can see what the magic is. This is machining wise really excellent. So this Pyrex glass fits perfectly, and here the chimney, which has also some kind of dome here for the chamber unit, and the threading is really good. It makes sense that this tank unit is put together a little bit on the tight side, because you just want to open up the complete tank unit when you like to refill it. We don't need the spare glass, but we need the deck. If you want to open up the chamber, you need a 510 connection or a mod, because the deck itself is really inside the chamber, so this is really flush to the chamber. Like also many other RTAs. And here you can see, I mean, you can see from the top the coil and cotton and stuff. We will check out this later. And if you want to change the airflow pins, just push them here from the inside. That works really well. They fit very good. And for the pins itself, there is no marking what size they have. So you have to compare them by eyesight, which is okay, because you can definitely see the difference between a 0.8, a 1.0, and a, what was the last? 1.4. So 0.8, 2.8, 1.0, and 1.4. So yeah, no, we will come to that later. I'm going to use right now not the 1.4, not the blind, and then I will check by eyesight one middle, it's a 1.0, and I will use one small, which is the 0.8. So I will try to get an airflow which is about a 1.2. Maybe this is now a little bit more than a 1.2, but it's definitely not bad. I have the feeling that using two different ones is definitely not a bad idea. Now coming to the deck, and this is where the interesting magic happens, because you don't have post screws. There are no post screws. There are deck screws which are holding the deck together, and these are kind of blue anodized screws. I don't know the exact material. Quite interesting. Big coil chick guides, helpers, which show you the exact position of your coil and cotton, and that does work excellent. Also, the coil height is pretty good. You can play around with it, but this guides here do the job excellent. And cutting the cotton is exactly here like described from the design. At the end of these guides, You just cut your cotton and then everything is fine. Because the feeding is made very, very interesting. You can see that this part here, the stone part, will correspond pretty much to the complete open surface here. But when you put this together, there are two very, very small gaps on either this side and this side. And these two very small gaps are the feeding holes. And the feeding does work exactly in this area where you see the blue screws. So this is your feeding area, and that does work absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. Once again, to show you the feeding area, it's this small cut and this small cut here. This is the automatic feeding. Another very, very interesting fact is, of course, the fact that your airflow pins are not coming from the exact side. They are getting about this. So this is an angle. This is not usually typical. This thing would not work because the posts are here in this area. It comes about this, and that is interesting, and that does work very, very well, and that is pretty good. But what I was really curious about when I first saw that the posts are screwless is there is some kind of, it looks like a spring system. And you just, I mean, you can see that these posts here, you can press them down, and then you have the cutouts here, and that does work insanely good. I have no idea of the connection quality of this pressing system here is exact the same as when you have screws. I cannot measure it. I have no idea. All I can say is it seems to work very, very well. But I was curious, what is it? Is it a spring system? I was not sure if I want to open up the deck because I had a little bit fear that springs are coming across everywhere, and yeah. But I thought, okay, normally my reviews are very detailed, so I have to open up everything. That is my job, and I did it. And I just checked, yes, okay. Here are the blue screws. Here is this part, yeah, so fine, so good, everything good. And now here we have peak parts. And these peak parts can also open up. Yeah, okay, so far so good. And then we've got another part, and then we have, this is even more. And then we have the base part, where the screws are here put in. And then we have the 510, and the 510 has also a small O-ring, and then we've got another plate, and then we've got the positive. This is the positive, and then there are no springs. So the springs itself are O-rings. And this is amazing design because the O-rings are just put in this peak part here, and by pressure they go a little bit up and down. So this is the complete magic. So we've got another peak part here, and there is the O-ring sitting in. There's the other O-ring, a small holes, of course, for that the posts are sitting right in the middle of these parts, and that's all. That's the complete spring system, which is not a spring system, it's an O-ring system. And if you have any problems with these O-rings, you will just change them, and then you are good to go. And this is, for me, a very, very interesting design, a very good design. And so far I can say that this Picatiny is, for me, the first atomizer from this Korean modder Picatiny SightPic, yeah, it's actually the same guy, is the first atomizer which is very, very, yeah, I mean, okay, these are a lot of parts, yes, but it's a very clever and easy design. Not like the Mea Culpa, which was for me a very complicated design. This is now a very easy design, a very, very good usability in my opinion. So, I mean, yeah, when you are opening up the complete deck, yes, quite a few parts, but it's quite obvious which parts work together and which do not work together. So it's a very, very clever design in my opinion. If you put everything together, check out that these screws are tight because you need the pressure system of the O-rings. And you have to check if this is working. Yeah, that works pretty well. Yeah, that's all. Interesting. The other point is that you will get a little bit of condensation inside, so you should wash it from time to time. So you might need to open it up from time to time, just to let you know. So what I'm gonna use is this atomizer can get warm when using complex coils. But it's an MTL atomizer. It works also very, very well with plain round wire. This is a Cantil 28 gauge, which you can wave excellent around 11 watts. And of course, with 11 watts, it will not get very warm. I will try to make a small coil, 5.5 reps, and now the interesting point is how easy is it to set this up. And now I will attach my wire like this, coil chick guides, and now I'm pressing this down a little bit and just go inside the clamps. I just don't see the other side very good right now. And that's all. So you now it this side does not fit very well. And that should do the job finally. And now cutting my wire. And that's all you will have to do. Oh, we need a battery. So yeah, perfect. And that's all to do. It's very, very easy. So we need some cotton. And then scissor. And this is a hint to the Korean modder. This is a Swiss-made Victorinox scissor. He was angry on my patibulum video because I used kind of an old scissor he was not happy about. So this is a Swiss-made high-grade scissor. I hope this is fine for you. Flush, just flush to the side. This is all you need to do. And then just some liquid, priming everything. and checking out that the cotton is sitting good in the guides. Then you can check the height. I mean, you can play around a little bit. I also like to have the coil a little bit on the high side. It gives a little bit more throated. And then you can put on the chamber. This is also very, very clever. There is a marking here at the bottom part and here on the bottom part, and you just have to see that the small dot is inside the marking points. Just play around a little bit. And push it, and now you can see here from the top about the position of your coil and stuff. Yeah, and you see that the airflow pins are going to the center of your coil. Just check out if this all works good for you. You can also see the small cutout where your feeding port is on this side and on this side here. So that looks all good. We need some liquid in the tank. Threading is excellent. And I'm using a palm drip tip, a combined steel palm drip tip. This is an Evan strip tip. And of course, I'm going to use a nice looking mod for this nice looking atomizer. This is the Pipeline Pro XS or the Dani Micro in 18500. 11 watts would fit very, very good. And then you are good to go. This is an excellent setup, a tiny, tiny, very good looking setup. Yeah, of course, quite expensive. We are talking here about nearly 500 euro setup. Yeah, the Picatiny. It's an excellent quality RTA. It's, for me, the best RTA when you combine the Patibulum and Mea Culpa version, so Holy Atti designs. This is his new brand, the SightPic Picatiny MTL. A little bit influenced, Flashy Vapor, Kuma RTA, Bishop, etc., etc. Works excellent. Quality is really, really good. You should use it on a little more on the low wattage side because it can get warm when using complex coils and higher power setting. The throated itself is a little bit on the soft side. So it's not a Flashy Vapor flash throat wise, but the flavor is really, really excellent. About the air pins, really important for me to tell to you. You can use what's possible with the included air pins. You can use one side blocked, so the tightest is a 0.8. Then it's a 1.0. Then you can combine 2.8s, which is around a 1.1. Then you can combine a 0.8 and a 1.0, which is a little bit more than a 1.2. Then you can use 1.4, which is similar to when you use two 1.0 pins. And then you can use a 1.0 and then you can use the 1.4 with any other, and the largest is 1.4, which is around, I don't have it now really in my thoughts, it's I think around a 1.8. What I'm gonna miss is a 1.2 screw because I cannot get my typical 1.2 millimeter airflow setting. I wished to use one side blocked and one side a 1.2 millimeters because you would get a stronger throated if one side is blocked and the other is the desired airflow pin. This is not included. This is the only thing I would say is kind of missing. I can use it here with a 0.8 and a 1.0. That does work good. 2.8 is a little bit on the tight side for me, but yeah, it works very well, and this is not a con. This is just something I wanted to mention. So all in all, very good job. Like it a lot. It's a good RTA. If I have to leave any cons for my subjective opinion, yes, the throated is a little bit on the soft side. That's all to say, so thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.